Southwest Media, here with Rich Farnan. You must be really pleased with Taz's performance on the weekend.
Exceptionally happy with it, yeah.
Was you expecting anything different?
Not really. The fight was tough, it was hard, but the way Tariq took control of it right from the very first bell and literally took it to Sam, I was a little bit surprised. I wasn't expecting such a fast start because we had sort of looked at, we know Sam's going to have a fast start, he always does. So we really planned on the first round of just keeping it at range, just boxing at range.
So it didn't stick to the fight plan whatsoever?
Didn't need to, because Sam came out quite fast, met Tariq in the middle of the ring, and it was almost like there was a split second, and it was like a split second, and Tariq just took the initiative and just hit him with, I think it was 3 hard shots straight away, and it kind of just stopped Sam in his tracks to think, well, not expecting this, and then Taz just dominated. You know, he just went through the gears. Had a fantastic second round where he put Sam under a hell of a lot of pressure.
Okay, I was just asking Taz about that. If you was a referee at that position, would you have stopped it? Or
I was screaming at the ref to stop it. You know, Sam's very brave and he's very tough, and he took some big shots. Obviously, he then went down. Then when he got back up, I was sort of beckoning to Tariq just to come forward, just put it on him, because leading up to the point where Sam went down, took a knee, Tariq was landing some big shots, hurtful shots, and Sam was wobbly, he was all over the place. Then he took the knee, then he got up, so it was just like pour it all on him, and Tariq poured it all on him, to the point where I think Keith told me there was 20 unanswered shots that caught Sam, and it was just like, I'm just shouting at the referee the whole time, you've got to stop this fight, you can't allow him to take this punishment. You know, he's getting battered, absolutely battered.
But saying that, Tariq's now had an extra 6 rounds experience,
which I'm more than happy with. You know, yeah, it would have been great for that fight to have stopped there and then, but looking at the longevity of Tariq's career and whatever, you know, an early stoppage, would that have done him any favours? It would look great on his record, but getting these 8 rounds in, hard-paced rounds where he pushed and pushed and pushed, and you know, he really let everything go, that's done him a world of good. That was taking him to the next level. I mean, after the 4th round, he was completely and utterly relaxed, you know, to the point where, although I was shouting and screaming at him a lot of the time, he was just dropping his right hand and he was just shoulder rolling, he was rolling out, he was in complete control and he felt comfortable, you know, and it's a case of, well, okay, fine. We adjusted it slightly. Sam started the rounds quite fast and wanting to come forward, so it was like, no problem, we'll allow him to do that. Then obviously I had Phil and Gary in the corner, I had Phil timing the round, so as soon as it was on halfway through the round, minute and a half, put it on him, did it every round. As soon as he put it on him, Sam could do nothing but cover up and go backwards, you know. So it was a great fight. Sam did what we thought Sam would do. Sam was extremely tough. I think where he was weighing about a stone heavier than Tariq, that gave him the advantage of not getting knocked out, because I think if he'd been at the same weight as Tariq, he would have definitely knocked Sam out. But Sam's a great guy. Okay,
so next, obviously we've now got a new British Masters champion. You must be over the moon that you've got another champion in the gym.
No, absolutely, yeah.
Where does he go next? Because he's ranked number 13 in the UK.
Yeah.
It can't be long until he is knocking on British title door.
No.
Obviously, he's only had 6 fights. This year for KM Promotions. He's undefeated in those 6 fights.
Yeah.
It can't be that long. Maybe a year, 2 years.
He's only dropped 2 rounds and he's drawn 1 round out of all them rounds. I think what we have to be mindful of, regardless of how skillful he is and how powerful he is, and you know, his ringmanship is fantastic. He's got great defence. You know, he doesn't do a lot wrong. However, we've still got to be mindful. It's only 6 fights after a 5.5 year layoff, and he stormed through and he's looked absolutely fantastic. But it gets to a point where you think, okay, the reins come on a little bit. We just hold you back a little bit to get some more rounds in and more fights in, because you know, push him too quick, you know, and all of a sudden, like you say, he could be knocking on the door of a British title fight, but it might be too early.
Okay, so obviously Tariq before he was fighting. Well, his first fight was against another debutant.
Yeah.
Lenny, he's now gone on against a few road warriors, as I'd call him.
Yeah.
And now he steps up to Sam Cousins, who's a bit more than a road warrior.
Sam's
He's
not a road warrior.
He's next level. So he's challenged that with ease. He won that 80-72.
Yeah. That was one round was a draw.
He could easily step up again, looking at the statistics.
Of course, yeah, he could. And Sam is tough. He's experienced. He's been in there with everybody. He's had 27 fights. His record's pretty much 50-50. So it was a big test.
Where would you like him to go for the rest of the year? What's he aim?
Well, I want him to be busy more than anything else. He needs to be busy. We'll have a look at the fights one by one. We won't get too excited about it. I'd like at some stage this year to fight for the Southern Area title. The big question is going to be whether that's going to be at light heavyweight or at super middleweight, which we're still in like two minds of what to do. Whether we go super mid or if we stick at light heavy. Light heavy's easy for him to make. Super middle, we got really close to super middle in this camp, so I don't think super middle would be a problem for him either. But let's just take one fight at a time. I'd love Chris Hobbs in the next fight, but I think that'll be a step backwards. Hobbs is unbeaten, but I'll be honest now, and I know you know.
He drew with Sam Cousins.
And Sam had a bad arm that night,
and he was undefeated.
Tariq to smash him up, take him out in 2 rounds, maybe even a round, easy. And that would be an easy fight for him, so it's probably a step backwards for him now. Regardless of what Chris was saying on his Facebook page, it's a case of Chris didn't have the bottle, offered it to him a couple of times, he won't come up and fight. So, we might have to start looking at other routes of more experienced fighters, just to gain the momentum. But I certainly don't want to push too hard. Miles Shinkwin's got the Southern Area light heavyweight title at the minute. No, we're a few fights away from that. It's...
How confident would you be of taking him on now, as it is?
I'm very confident that Tariq has everything he's got to beat Miles, potentially. But I ain't going to call Miles out because he's had 6 fights. I think Miles was on about 12 fights. There's double experience, and that experience counts for a lot. So you can't rush somebody at this stage of his career where everything's going right. So we've got to keep that path going on the right path. You can't all of a sudden get excited and go, oh yeah, fantastic, let's put it in with Bob Agisave, the British champion. No, Bob Agisave is too experienced, and there's no point because you could ruin his career straight away. So it's just like, let's just be careful, plot it one at a time, not get too excited, and just look at each fight as they come along. Keep learning. When the time's right, then we'll go chasing the Southern Area, and then whatever comes after the Southern Area. But we'll do it in that way first of all. Obviously, if let's say in, 10 months time, there's a knock on the door because he's in a position for a shot at the British title, then we're going to have to look at it really seriously. But if it's not right at that moment in time in Tariq's career, then you won't take it because do you know what? That opportunity will come again. So let's just wait until the time's right. You can't rush things, because you've seen it before with boxers that get rushed, and all of a sudden there's a hiccup, there's a mistake, and it's like we've got to go back to the drawing board and start again. We're not going to do that. We'll be careful on this, and we'll plan it right. We'll do it the right way, and then when them titles come, he'll be more than ready for them titles, and he'll come home with them titles.
All right. Brilliant. And thanks for your time, Rich.
No problem.
We want to obviously speak to you again soon. But if we don't, wish you a happy Christmas and a happy New Year.
And happy Christmas to everybody at Southwest Media and everybody out there. Have a great one.
All right, cheers. Thank you.
No.
Cheers.